This is Sunday School for the adults at Riverside, and today we're talking about Chapter 4 in our Speak Life series that we have started to embark on. This particular chapter starts us in a new segment, and it talks about our conversations that we have with ourselves. You know, we often are guilty of some negative self-talk. I'm pretty guilty of that. I have to beat that down with a stick frequently. So how we talk with ourselves is also evidenced in how we interact with other people. And I have to say that's true, because if I think negatively, sometimes I come across negatively, and the converse is true as well. So we need to be intentional about what we're thinking, what's in our hearts, what is directing us, what is guiding us, what is taking our day from point A to point B. Ruth Graham said in her book, "In every pew sits a broken heart," she said. Our decisions, our relationships, and our preferences in large part stem from what we say to ourselves about ourselves. A lot of what we say to ourselves, that self-talk about ourselves, is evidenced in how we act, how we think, how we interact with other people. So later on, I'd like for you to stop and take a moment and jot down 10 things about yourself that you think are just awesome, that is wonderful, all of the good things about you. Then I want you to write down all the 10 things that, you wish you could change, pretty much. That is not exactly what you like about yourself. Compare these typical themes that you might have. Things that you say to yourself about yourself, the good, the bad, okay? Are we talking something very positive, something negative? Are we talking about something that you're conscious of, that you think about pretty regularly? Or do these things crop up now and then and just kind of throw you for a loop or make you feel really good about yourself? I want you to think about starting your day. You get up in the morning, you get ready to go, the water heater breaks, so you have to take a cold shower. You are already feeling bad because you've got a meeting that you have to go to, and you don't want to go to that meeting. You just know it's going to be one of those kind. Or it's going to be a little challenging emotionally, or just anything could be a little off-putting, okay? You've already given yourself this mental attitude. It's going to be rotten. I got to go to this meeting, and I really don't want to do this, and the water heater's cold. And now what else is going to go wrong today? And you have this attitude, this aura going on, right? But you've set yourself up for a negative agreement, pretty much. And you've already said that my whole day is going to be an awful experience. That's just it. I've labeled it. You walk out to your car, you got a flat tire, or you get out there on the road and traffic is backed up because there was a 6-car accident and you're going to be late and things are not going as smoothly as they should. So you get this little attitude, doom and gloom, and it's like, Pigpen, the dirt cloud. So you got a doom and gloom cloud that follows you around, is over your head. And this is our default behavior. Unfortunately, I get in that default, and I gotta really pull myself to get out of it. Sometimes it's challenging. I feel like I'm drowning in negativity. So we're talking about trying to keep away from that negativity and that self-talk, and how to get so that we're not drowning in all of the things that could oppress us, that often is our own inner talk, our own inner reflection of our perception of ourselves. Many times these particular perceptions are pretty deeply entrenched within us, and they may have arisen from a variety of situations and relationships in the past as we've grown up through the years, and they tend to define who we've become. Those hurts of the past might haunt us. We're unable to get out of the rut that keeps us down, keeps us suppressed, keeps us oppressed. And those words from the past echo through all of our time together into the present and influence what happens. Maybe you've heard some of these statements. Maybe you've even said some of these statements. You're a loser. I'm sorry you're my son or my daughter. I'm through with you. Or being bullied by someone calling you names. Hey, fatso. Hey, dummy. What's the matter with you? You're dunce or something? Why can't you be more like, and then input somebody else in the family that might be more like someone prized? You're not good enough. You should be ashamed of yourself. These kinds of words create that negative aura within us, and sometimes they stick with us sometimes, most of the time, they stick with us for a lot of years, and they impact how we perceive ourselves, but how we then show ourselves to other people as well. This strong impact, our statements and things that we listen to just create a self-fulfilling prophecy. And what it does is we're not looking at God anymore and his truths about us. We're looking at ourselves. And our focus gets shifted from the good and the wonderful and the loving and the precious to the I am not, or I should be, or I wish I were, and this is the wrong focus. So we've got to stop and think about this environment that we create ourselves in, that we try to sweep it out, get rid of it, suck it up in the vacuum, and throw away all the negativity, and have a better conversation with ourselves. If we only have that negative inside of us, if we only have we have nothing to give to anybody else. If we're only consumed by all of the negative stuff that we are, traveling in, then we don't have any energy to encourage other people. We can't give to somebody else until we ourselves have good within us that is shareable. So I know that I have to frequently pray. I'm stuck in my miry clay. I'm stuck in this cloud like pig pen of yuck and the negative agreements. God, heal me. Help me to learn from those things that have happened, and help me to become a better person. Help me to shift my focus on you, on all that is good and right and pure and holy. Become more positive. While we're dealing with all these negative self-talks, that God is still trying to reach us. He's still trying to, tap us on the shoulder, say, hello, I'm still here. How come you're not listening to me? He's trying to talk with us. He's trying to raise us up. And he'll always be with us. He'll always call to us, even though we ignore him. But we have to stop and listen. And if we truly listen to him, he'll let us know how priceless we are. We are valuable. We are his creation, works of art. Now, I don't consider myself a work of art. I'm kind of a blob. But God made me, and I know that the exterior is not so important to him as it is the interior. It's the heart. What did he create in me? He created in me something very special. And each one of us, we're special, we're unique. We have gifts and abilities and things that we can share with other people that other people don't have but need, and they need from us. So we've got to be willing to take everything that God has made of us and all that we are, know that we are enough. We are his tools, that we can be used for his glory. A few years ago, there was a movie called The Help, and May Mobley needed a little encouragement. I love these three phrases because at the time I needed this encouragement as well, and I remind myself of this often to help me get out of my little negative world, out of my dust devil whirl. May Mobley needed to be reminded that you is kind, you is smart, and you is important. Each one of us are kind, are smart, are important. No matter what we feel, we know that God already told us that we are kind because we belong to him. We are smart. We worship him, the only true God that there is. And we are important in his eyes. Otherwise, he wouldn't have created us, right? He wouldn't need us. So God reminds us that in order to transform who we are and the negative self-talk that we've got, we have to give it to him. And we have to turn to him and tune in to his peaceful voice. We have to understand that he is looking at us with perfect eyes. Our self-view has to align with his. We have to get in sync with him. Looking back in Genesis, we have that story about Abram, who became Abraham later. And I want to go to Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 and 3, and just read these couple of verses for you. Think about Abram. He was probably in his 90s at this time. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go forth from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to the land which I will show you. And I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great. And so you shall be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and the ones who curse you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." For an old guy, he was probably thinking, God, what's the matter with you? I'm old. How am I going to have all these people? How am I going to be blessed at this age? What's going on? It was probably a little scary too for him if you really think about it. But God was pleased with Abram, and he went into covenant with Abram. Now, a covenant is a permanent, unconditional, unbreakable, one-sided promise. So God promised with Abram that all these things I will do for you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you will be father of many. Okay? A contract, on the other hand, requires two parties. And these conditions, can be attached, they can be broken, and two people both have to act. Whereas with a covenant, God alone is the one performing all of the things that are attached to that covenant. He is making sure that those promises are being satisfied. Abraham knew as a fact that God was the God of covenants, not contracts. God was responsible for fulfilling the promises and providing everything that was necessary to have access to those promises. And we know that this covenant was just not for Abraham, but was for all people. All people, God promises that he will be with us. He will love us. He will bless us. He will take care of us, right? And as a recipient of his promises, then I need to intentionally remember that my personal conversations, the ones that are negative agreements with myself, are not acceptable. And I have to be reminded of what God has already done for me. He's already proven that he's willing to free us from whatever binds us. He plants us like trees by the streams of water. And a lot of these come from Psalms. He bestows good things on us. He wants to promote us, to deliver us. And he wants to build us up and keep us alive. He wants to pour out so much blessing that we will not have enough room for it. Our effort to partake in these promises is not required. God does all the work. He takes care of it. In his goodness and grace, he has covenanted or promised already to provide everything that we need. We have to allow him to direct us and to point us in the right direction and to adjust the dial of our tuner in our hearts so that we hear him clearly without static, which would be those negative agreements that tell us we're not good enough, or we're too fat, or we're too incapable. We have to tune those out and tune into God. If we expect awfulness from life and from people, awfulness will show up. Our day starts out pretty rough. The water heater's broken. We've got a flat tire. We're late. We're stuck in traffic. The kids forgot their lunch. anything like that happens and we already start out with this awful, it's going to be a wicked day, I don't want to be a part of it, that attitude will follow us. And we expect it, it will surely come to pass. If we expect greatness, then greatness will come. So we have to take our thinking and shift it. We have to tune out all the negativity, tune it out, tune into God. I expect great things today, God. I expect that even though the water heater broke, that I'm going to find one on sale and I'm going to get a plumber in here to take care of this right away. And it's not going to be too costly, right? So I'm going to expect that you're going to take care of me, God. You're going to send me to the right person that I need to fix this. I expect that my boss will understand that there is a 6-car pileup on the highway and that things will go on and it's going to be a great day regardless. Okay? Don't let the tragedy or the past hurts define who you are. God defines us. He defines us. He makes all things new and he brings beauty out of ashes. All things become beautiful within his control if we let go, if we listen to him, and if we stay thankful to the promises that he's given to us, and if we partake of those promises. We just need to listen. So are we listening to the negative arguments, our negative agreements that we create in our own self-talk world? Or are we listening to the God of grace and peace and what he has to say about us? Where's our dial tuned to? We know that God loves us. He honors us. He promotes us. He protects us. He delivers us. He keeps us alive. He builds us up and he richly blesses us. He will give us his goodness and his grace. We don't have to do anything except accept. Lord, I hear you. I honor you. That negative world, the negative muck that I'm in, I'm going to sweep it away and let you discard it, let you burn it up and get rid of it for me. So tune in to the words in Luke chapter 3, verses 21 to 22. Now when all the people were baptized, it came to pass that Jesus was also baptized, and praying, the heaven was open, and the Holy Ghost descended in a bodily shape like a dove upon him, and a voice came from heaven which said, Thou art my beloved Son, in thee I am well pleased. So removing the negative self-talk from our lives will have the Father pleased with us as well. And it will give us better days ahead. It will give us better interactions with other people if we think on those things which are honest, true, just, pure, lovely, and of good report. If we listen to the Father and let him guide our daily interactions, our daily communications with other people, our daily conversations, and to transform the conversations that we have with ourselves into something more positive, something more beautiful. So compare your lists and prayerfully ask God to help you with your self-talk. Ask God to help you change that conversation from a negative one to a positive one and to become a blessing to others.